Alright, what's going on, guys? Sean Don coming back for week 2 of the training vlog. So far, so good. Holding steady. It'd be pretty bad if I missed the second week. You know, after saying I'm going to do this for as long as I can, that would have been messed up. But here I am. I did it. It's Sunday as I edit this, and if I'm being frank, yesterday was Mount Union's homecoming, my alma mater, and yeah, that was kind of my last hoorah, if you will, kind of last time going out and partying a little bit. So currently, I'm not really hungover, but my brain is just not functioning. So this is actually the second take I've done of this voiceover because I was just definitely not feeling it the first time. Got about 3 minutes in and stopped it. So bear with me. Hopefully I can make it through this and sound coherent yet again and actually give you guys something to learn. So yeah, like I said, week 2 overall was rough. Like, my body was hurting this week. So instead of doing 3 days throwing, I decided to do 4, so I'm bumping up volume a little bit for next week. I'm going to go back down a little bit since I'm going back to Chula Vista, so I'm traveling, and then I'm going to Zion National Park. So a little bit more volume this week to make up for the stuff I'm not doing next week. And then, yeah, even the weight room too, everything, all the volume and everything was bumped up too, so that just made me feel even worse. Yeah, my body was really hurting. I don't know, it's probably just the new training, it's probably just getting back into training, but I'm feeling old right now. I'm only 26, guys, but I'm feeling old. Once again, hopefully it's just the new training, and then, I mean, next week there's even more volume, so, but I think, by then my body should be adapting, or should be getting better at adapting, so it shouldn't be as horrible, I hope. But yeah, overall was feeling rough this week, but still actually had some pretty solid training, as you guys will see later in the video. But yeah, like I said last week, my throwing program is a block style program, so I'm doing the exact same sort of training that I was last week. And I guess it's kind of like that for my lifting too. The only thing that really changes, like I said, is the volume and intensity of the weight room stuff, the throwing stuff. I mean, intensity changes naturally because you once again, adaptation. I'm still trying to take easy throws, but just, my strength is coming back, technique is coming back, timing is coming back a little bit. So naturally the intensity is a little bit higher, but still same stuff. So same drills as you guys saw at the beginning. I was doing all the same, like winds and releases and stick drills, wraparounds, left-handed, right-handed, 2 hammers, normal, whatever, and then the turn series, and then yeah, another 10 throws with the 6K, 5 or 6 turns for the most part, unless I dumped it early. As you can see, not looking the best on Monday, and that is because on Saturday, previously, last week when I was in New Hampshire, me and Cullen decided to hike Franconia Ridge, and that's a 7-hour hike, and it took, what was it, 9 miles and 5,000 foot elevation gain, and I actually thought I was going to die on the way up, and I think Cullen did too, and it was a tad scary. Nothing like feeling like you're going to die when you're on a mountain and you can't really get any help. It's great. So, lesson learned, bring carbohydrates when you hike mountains, not just beef jerky like a dumbass. So yeah, Monday Monday I wasn't feeling terrible, but like I said, you can see it in the throws. And then, but the lifting actually felt pretty solid. As you guys saw, I had the muscle snatch. That was a little bit lighter. Well, yeah, this whole workout was lighter, so it was, what was it, 55% instead of 75% last week, so a little bit higher volume but lower intensity, and it was much more manageable. Like I said, muscle snatch was good. Front squat actually felt good. I actually felt like I could, squat instead of just feeling like my back was going to explode. And then everything else was about the same. Increased volume a little bit, like once again for the accessory stuff. But and then yeah, like I said, just percentage change for the actual main lifts themselves, different reps, sets, and intensity. Yeah, day 2, here we are. Like I said, second of 4 days of throwing this week, and I think it was decent. I can't quite remember. All I know is that I typically, I usually throw farther. I usually feel better, at least. I usually feel better after I've thrown for a day. So like my first day of practice, like after a rest day, is decent, not great, usually a little rusty. But then that second day of training after that first day, I usually have better feel, better timing, more relaxed, and throws are decent. But I think I remember my low back, my SI was kind of acting up a little bit with all this, like I said, the extra volume. Things are just getting a little bit aggravated, and I go back to Chula Vista this week, like I said, so I'm looking forward to getting some treatment on that, because it's been bothering me for like 3 months now. So excited to feel healthy 100%. That way I can really let it slang and then start working my way back to dropping some bombs. Day 2 of lifting was good though, surprisingly. This is once again just kind of like an active recovery conditioning day, very general prep stuff, and the jumps are starting to feel a little bit crispier. Still not like great, but I definitely feel like I have a little bit of pop and some tendon stiffness coming back, which is good. And then watching me do these med ball drills today just looks like the laziest thing in the world. But when you're doing, 8 sets of it, that was 800 reps of med ball throws against the wall, it wears on you. And then so tempo circuits, like same thing as last week. Switched up the ab exercise, doing V-sits, as you can tell all the way back there. And then tempo circuit number 2, bike inverted row, and the Russian twist again. And it was cool because this week I'm definitely, like I said, my body's adapting. I'm quite sore, but like I can definitely tell my aerobic fitness is already coming back, because like I said, there were 8 sets of the med ball throws, and then 2x8 on the tempo circuits each, and I was plowing through that stuff, like absolutely plowing through it. And I was working hard. It was not easy, but I'm definitely like much better than I was last week. Last week I actually felt like I was gonna die. Once again, that's kind of the theme of this off season so far, is me just pushing my body to its limits, for mostly no reason. Like I said, hiking mountains and this lifting and stuff like that. So like I said, I'm excited to go back to Chula Vista and get back into my routine, and just have a lot more time to recover. I guess I have plenty of time now, but I have more modalities and stuff, hot tub, cold tub, stuff like that. Day 3 lifting, no throwing today. This actually kicked the shit out of me. So just like last week, like I said, day 1 was 75%. Last week, day 2 or day 3, the actual lifting was 55%, and now it's switched. So like I said, day 1 was 75%, or 55%, sorry, and then day 2 was 75, and those 75% workouts kicked the shit out of me. The split squats did not feel great, but pull-ups are feeling stronger. Once again, strength is coming back. I'm feeling like an athlete. And then so this is day 4. Went down to good old Ashland, Ohio, to train with my buddy Luis Rivera, another D3 weight throw national champion. He won it the year after I did, and so we're competitors, we're friends. He's a true brother. Today was a lot of fun to be down there with Lewis. I think we both were vibing off each other, and it's just nice to have somebody else to train with who's as passionate as you are. And we obviously come from kind of the same background. He walked on to Nazareth, his college, and then he got the bug, and so he's still training. He's training under Judd Logan, 4-time Olympic hammer thrower, 4-time Olympian in the hammer throw. So it was cool to also hang out with Judd, because he's an absolute legend and just an incredible human being. I aspire to be like him when I grow up. and yeah, so I told Judd, I was like, hey man, whatever you want to tell me, you tell me, and I'm gonna work on it, you know, and see how it goes. Just because I'm one of those people, you know, I think you can learn something from everybody. The more 80-meter hammer throwers that I can talk to, the better. It's more things, you know, more perspectives to learn from, more cues to, you know, try out, stuff like that. So yeah, Judd kind of told me to just bring my that preliminary swing into my lines, bring it a little bit more forward, so it's, you know, there's more of a pendulum to it, and it doesn't quite set up the system as twisted, which makes a lot of sense. So I like that. And then he also told me to turn my heel out when I step up with my right foot. So like, yeah, with that little pre-turn, it's very subtle, you can't really tell. But it just changes that feeling a little bit and kind of creates like some stretch across the back side of the body. Kevin McMahon was, as Judd said, kind of like the master of doing that. And yeah, Kevin told me about that back in the day too. So, but yeah, still, I think I'm going to keep playing with that preliminary pendulum swing. And then, I don't know, maybe the right heel thing, turning it out, will come into play one day. You never know. It's one of those things that, and I like I said, me and Lucius had plenty of great conversations all day, and it's one of those things that, like, everything that I've learned along the way at some point in my career has helped me, whether or not I think it's been the best thing to do at the time or not. I feel like it always comes back around, like, full circle. Like I was telling Lewis, I was like, some of the stuff that I learned today, you know, or when I was at Ashland, like, could very well be the thing that gets me to throw 80 meters next summer. It could be the thing that, you know, whatever, just makes me that much more successful. So like I said, that's the mindset I try to have. Always want to keep learning, trying things out, experimenting, trying to find the next best thing. And once again, I think it's a Judd Logan quote, but he always says 90% of what he does is set in stone, and then he spends 90% of his time trying to figure out that other 10% to, like I said, maximize his results for his kids. And like I said, he's just a great example for what I want to be as a human being and a coach. Yeah, so more tempo circuits. Today actually kicked my ass. The sled drags, my legs were super heavy, and just the sled drags beat me up. The bike was bad. The bike was easy. The second tempo circuit was fine, but yeah, some of that earlier stuff really got me. Once again, that high volume, extensive med ball circuit got me pretty good. Oh, and then also I got to, once again, just kind of by happenstance, I got to hear Dr. Richard Ulm, a former Ashland hammer thrower, once again coached by Judd. He's a chiropractor now. So yeah, it was cool to learn from him too. He was there explaining a little like breathing exercise you can do at the end of your lift to kind of loosen up your back muscles. And so definitely going to be trying out that, like I said, the little breathing drill. You sit down in a squat, kind of hold on to something, kind of round that lower back, and then really just breathe for, I think I did it for like 2 minutes, and definitely loosened me up a little bit, so I'm gonna keep working that in. And then yeah, so day 5 down at, like I said, my good old alma mater, Mount Union, visiting the roots. Got to see a lot of my college buddies and college coaches, and it was really good to see them. It was really refreshing. And throwing, I definitely like felt really not good on Friday. Super tired, just wanted to get it over with, but you know, I got to keep plugging along. Lifting was pretty solid though. Once again, I think this was like a 55% day, so really not too hard. That snatch grip deadlifts were pretty easy, and once again, rows and core stuff, so nothing crazy. And then day 6, like I said, it was homecoming, and as you guys can see here, 2 of my buddies and myself, well, 3 of us, shared a hotel room, and this is what, like 4 o'clock on Saturday after a long day of tailgating. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, and still feeling it today. But yeah, so that's pretty much, I guess, all I got for you guys. So thank you for watching. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, as usual, if you found something useful in this video, share it with one other person. That's all I ask. It helps me out, helps you and your teammates and your friends and coaches out. So, all right, thanks for watching. Until next week, peace out.